Morning folks, it's Brian Bennett again with some more stories from my book A Badsey Boy. This is video number 3. I'm going to start off today by telling you a couple of stories about my long past brother, Norman. I'll set the scene for you on the first story. We're going back to when we had wicker baskets. It's June the 16th. It's going to be a hot day and we're walking across the fields at first light to get up to our favourite pegs on the Littleton Water, where we're going to fish hempen tares on the waggler and catch a great big roach. Well, we walk to the first field and the grass is long and the dew's all getting, it's just, everything's getting wet, all our feet are wet. And we go to the second field and the mist is rolling off the river and you can't see anything in front of you. The only way you know you're going in a straight line is by your footmarks in the dew behind you. So we're walking through all this mist. It's dead quiet. There's not a sound. And we hear... And I looked at my brother and I said, I don't like the sound of that, kid. He said, neither do I. I said, let's keep going, but a bit quicker. So we start walking a bit quicker. And then we hear... and all this rustling. I said, kid, I know what that is. Let's go. And we knew that on the fence, on the hedgerow on the right, there's a gate somewhere, but we didn't know where it was. So we ran as fast as we could over to the hedge. We were running along the edge, and we could hear this rumbling sign behind us. We get to this gate, and I'm first over the gate, and I landed in a heap with all my fishing stuff on my back. My brother is like seconds behind me. He's over the top of the gate, just as this bull hit the gate. And this bull has hit the gate so hard, it's actually bent the 5-bar gate. And I untangled myself from all my stuff, and I looked at my brother, and he's got the strap from his basket around his neck. So I undone my brother and released him, and we're looking at this bull, and there's his eyes, his big brown eyes are rolling back in his head, and there's flames and steam coming out of his nostrils, all this stuff dripping out of his nose, and he's headbutting the gate. And my brother said to me, he said, bloody hell, kid. I said, what's up, mate? He said, I wish I had a pair of bollocks like that. That's true, he said that. The second story I've got to tell you about my brother, if I could remember it, I'll tell it you. Forget that. I can't remember. I'll come back to it. I'll tell you about Sailor. Sailor kept on and on and on and on to me, Victor Woods, about going trout fishing. It's middle of winter, it's cold, and everywhere's frozen. But I knew there was one place in Droitwich that was spring fed, that at least be half the lake free. So he kept on, and I phoned this farmer. I said, are you open? He said, no. He says, middle of winter, mate. He says, what do you mean, am I open? I said, I told him about it, Victor. He said, well, at myself, he said, I wouldn't even charge you. He said, are you mad? He said, I'm not even going to charge you. He said, you know where the boat is? He said, just put it back as you found it. So I phoned Victor, yeah, off we go. Go to this place. And we get there and half the lake's frozen and it is cold. It is freezing. And we get the boat out and we get it on the lake and we go up to the ice. And we're fishing back towards where the inlet is. And it's cold. And I've got mittens on. And when you're fishing in mittens, after a couple of minutes, they get wet. And the cold just stays on your hands all the time. And we're fishing away, and I said, after about 20 minutes, I said, you ready, Victor? No. He said, let's stay for a bit. So I said, all right. Well, about 40 minutes in, I've hooked one. I couldn't believe it. Got one. I got this fish about £2, got it in the net. Got my priest out my bag. Now my priest was stainless steel. It had been specially made for me by a chap in a factory in Redditch. And it weighed about £7. And if you hit the trout too hard, their eyes used to fly out. So I give this trout a smack, put it in the bag, hang it off the rollock, starts fishing again. I said, "You ready yet, Victor?" No, 10 minutes. He said, 10 minutes. I said, "All right, 10 minutes, then I'll go." So anyway, I had another one. So I've got this fish in the net, smack, in the bag. I said, "Are you ready now, Victor?" I said, "'Cause I'm bloody cold." He said, 10 minutes and we'll go. I said, "Right." I said, 10 minutes and we're off. He said, "Okay." So we're fishing away and all of a sudden Victor said, I got one. I looked around and sure enough his rod's bent over and he's playing this fish. He got it in the bottom of the boat and he's picked my priest up. Now this fish has obviously seen what's coming and wasn't too happy about it. Well, Victor's gone to hit this fish and just as he's gone to hit it, the fish is twisted and he's hit his finger. I'm gone. Victor says, "I broke my finger. My finger's broke." And I'm laughing. And anyway, I killed his fish and put it in a bag with mine. And he sat there and he's going, "Oh, I broke my finger. Oh, my finger's broken. Oh." And I'm still laughing. And I said, "Oh, for fuck's sake, Victor." So I realised all the rods in and off we go to the jetty and I pulled the boat out and Victor stood there. "Oh, my finger's broke." And I get him in the car and started him back to Evesham. I got the heater on full and he's got, "Oh, my finger. I said, "Let's have a look, Vic." He said, "No." He said, "I ain't let go of it." "No, I'm not letting go." I said, "Let's have a look, mate." He said, No. Anyway, we get the traffic lights in Pinvin. And they were on red and I stopped. I said, "Let's have a look, Victor." He said, No. I said, "Look, I'm not moving from here until I had a look." And he lifts his hand off his finger. And fair play, it was about 3 times normal size. It was purple, but it got a white line in it where he did it. So I said, "Do you want to go to A&E or do you want to go home?" He said, "No, take me home. So I takes him home and I get out of the car and I got his stuff out and I walked up to the back door and I opened the door and I saw his missus and I said, "No, he's all right." I said, "He's had a bit of an accident." I said, "But he's okay." I said, "He's okay. Don't panic." And we looked down the path and Victor's taking his baby steps up the path holding his finger. And she says, "Bloody hell, Victor, you can't go anywhere without hurting yourself. Sit down." So he sits down in his favourite chair. And she said, "I'll make you a cup of tea." She put the kettle on and she come back. She said, "Let me have a look at it." And he took his hand off his finger. And it's all swollen and it's purple. And she looked at it and she grabbed the end and said, "That's not broken." It wasn't broke, it was just badly bruised. But it was a funny story. Anyway, I've remembered my second story about my brother Norman. It's all come back to me. It's an age thing. So my brother phoned me up one Saturday morning. And he said, "What are you doing, kid?" I said, "Nothing." He said, "Right." He said, "We're going pike fishing." He said, "I've been watching Matt Hayes on the telly this morning. We're going pike fishing." I said, "All right, fair enough." So he comes over and picks me up. Rod in the line, reel, that's it. So we go to Escott Houses, which was the local tackle shop then. And we bought some copper spoons. That's all they got was on this blue card. Different sized copper spoons. We bought some wire traces to go with it. And off we've gone to Birmingham. We've started fishing. He's gone one way and I've gone the other. And we didn't really know what we was doing with these things. We were chucking like reeling. And all of a sudden in the distance I hear, kid! And I've reeled in, I've gone running down the road, down the path. And sure enough, my brother's rod's bent over. And this thing's coming out of the water. It's tail walking. And he says, get the landing net. So I get the landing net. We get to this thing on the landing net, and it's huge. It's like fucking thing, it's huge. And we stood looking at it. I said, what do we do now then, kid? He said, we're going to get the hooks out. I said, well, how do we do that? He said, well, I said, well, how did Matty get his hooks out? He said, well, he had this thing, he put it in the pike's mouth, and he opened his pike's mouth. And he had these long tweezer things, and he got the hooks out. I said, have we got any of that? He said, nah. I said, why not? He said, well, I didn't think we'd catch anything. So I said, what are we going to do then? He said, well, we've got to get the hooks out. I said, well, what are we going to do? He said, I'll tell you what, he says. I'll hold his mouth open. You put your hand and you get the hooks out. I said, piss off. I said, it's no many teeth in that thing. He said, no, it'll be fine. He said, I'll hold it open. You put your hand in, get the hooks out. He said, it'll be absolutely fine. So, I said, are you sure? He said, trust me. He said, trust me, it'll be fine. So, my brother gets on his hands and knees. He's got this pipe between his legs. And he holds this pike's mouth open. And I said, are you sure about this? He said, trust me, it'll be fine. So I put my hand in this pike's mouth, and it was fine. And I could feel the teeth on the bottom of my hand. And it was alright until I touched the hook. As soon as I touched the hook, this fucking thing's gone mad. It's got me. It's clamped its mouth on me. But my brother's let go and this thing's got me. My brother's fell over backwards and this fucking pike is splashing and it's jumping up and down. It's got me. And it's ripping chunks out of my hand and there's blood and fucking snot everywhere. And I said, get it off! Get the fucking thing off! And my brother's dancing around like a girl. I don't want to, I said, grab the fucking thing. Anyway, he's got on this pike. And my hand's ripped to shreds. There's blood and snot and pike stuff. And it's fucking horrible. So he forces this pike's mouth open. I pull my hand out and it's ripped to shreds. And there's hooks, teeth stuck in my back of my hand. And he gets a towel at the bag and wraps it around my hand. And I said, what are we going to do now? He said, we'll have to kill it. I said, what do you mean kill it? He said, we'll have to kill it. So I was going to kill it anyway. He said, I wanted to trade it. I've read a pike recipe and apparently they're very nice. I was going to trade it. I said, well, why didn't we kill it in the first place then? He looked at me and said, I never thought of that. My brother. So, kills this pike, gets the hooks out, puts it in a bag, off we go, A&E. Goes in A&E, this woman, this nurse is pulling all these teeth out my hand. Asked me if I wanted to keep them. I said, no thanks, you're okay. And she's cleaned it all up and it's all stinging from the antiseptic. She put all these butterfly stitches in the back of my hand and wraps it all up in a bandage. And I stood up to go. She said, hang on before you go. She said, just drop your trousers and bend over. I said, what for? Tetanus. I'll tell you what, she stuck that needle in my arse and it hurt more than the bloody pike did. Anyway, I saw my brother a couple of days later. I said, what was your pike like, mate? He said, bloody awful. He said it was so bad the cats wouldn't even eat it. Ah, dear. Where are we going to go next? Oh, I'll tell you now. This happened to me many years ago when I was fishing for Shakespeare. A bloke phoned me up on a Friday night. He said, what are you doing tomorrow? Anything? I said, no. He said, will you step into this team match for us? I said, yeah, I'll come and fish for you. He said, it'll be easy money for you. He said, it's only a load of wankers. He said, it's just a local team thing. So I said, all right. So I've gone to this match and I've drawn peg 120. And it started fishing. I started catching straight away. And I caught enough in the first hour to win this match. But that's not what this story's about. The story's about the bloke above me on 122. This bloke is fishing away, and all of a sudden he's chucked the feeder out. I had the feeder in the water plop. And I'll explain to those non-fishing people about a feeder. A feeder is a long piece of plastic with holes in it. And on the side of this plastic, there's a piece of lead. Heavyweight lead. The idea is you fill it with maggots or ground out or whatever. You cast it in. The lead takes it to the bottom. It lies on the bottom. All the stuff drifts out to this feeder. Your hook on your line is below that. So all this stuff is coming around your hook bait. The fish comes up and hopefully grabs your hook bait. Pulls the line. You catch it. So this bloke's chucked this feeder out. I've heard it in the water, plop. And I'm fishing away and I just happened to look down. And I could see this bloke's feeder in the water below me. And all the maggots are coming out. And I thought, he ain't got no lead on his feeder. So instead of it sinking to the bottom, it's just floated round with the current. And it's landed in front of me. So I thought, I'll give it a little tap with the end of my rod. So I gave it a little tap. And this bloke strikes. And he's reeling. So he casts it out again and I'm stood there. And I'm waiting. Sure enough, this feeder's come back round again. And I looked at this bloke and I thought, I'll give it another tap. And he strikes. And he's muttering. He's fucking striking. So, cast it again and it's come round. And this bloke's really pissed now. He's really getting angry. And I started laughing. Like laughing. And I've got the old I can't breathe sort of laugh going on. And I'm laughing and this thing's coming around and I'm giving it a tap with this bloke. And I'm laughing, I'm red in the face and I'm laughing, and Mal Watson and Stuart Polster come walking on the back. And Stuart says, what are you laughing at, Benny? I said, come down here and have a look at this. So they come down into my peg and they sat on the back. They said, what are we laughing at? I said, just watch this. And my ears are plop. I said, here we go. I said, watch this. And this feeder, they saw this feeder coming through the water. I said, he's got no lead on his feeder. I said, just watch him now. I give it a tap with this bloke strikes, and he's stamping his feet, he's fucking talking to himself, he's really it. And they started laughing, and I've started laughing again. And this has gone on for like an hour and a half now. And I keep tapping it, he's striking him. And Stu said, go and tell him, Benny. I said, no, I ain't telling him. I said, I'm having too much fun. So anyway, it's gone on and the match is finished and we're going to wait for the scales to come. And I've walked up to this bloke. I said, doing any good, mate? He said, do you know, he said, I've had a bite for the last cast, for every cast, for the last 2.5 hours I've had a bite. He said, and I've not hooked one of them. He don't know yet, but when he watches this, he'll know who it is. I'm not mentioning no name, but he will know. I'm going to tell you one more story before I finish video number 3. I was invited to present the prizes at this company's annual fishing contest, electrical company. And I've gone to the start of the match and I've done the draw and started the match with the Uter. And it's at Twyford and everybody's fishing away. Part of my job that day was to give advice if anybody wanted it, because I was the venue expert apparently. So I'm walking around the bank watching these blokes and they're fishing. I've got to peg 112 at Twyford. Now, peg 112 at Twyford. To get down to the peg, you have to go down the bank, along the bank, and you come to your platform. Well, the platform is about 15, 18 foot below the top of the bank. And I just happened to be walking on the bank, minding my own business, and this bloke was on 112 and he was sat on his box. And he got this big white feeder on with all this lead on the side, a lot of lead on this feeder. And he's just going to cast it out. I just happened to be looking at him and he's gone, whack! And his line's obviously caught around his reel somewhere. Excuse me whilst he would play. Because this feeder has come straight round and it's caught in between the eyes. Fucking smack! And this bloke's gone over backwards on his box and he's laying there. Oh! And there's broken poles, there's broken rods, there's bait everywhere, and this bloke's laying there. Me, I'm on my knees. I can't breathe. I'm laughing so much I just can't breathe. I know I'm red in the face. I know that if I don't take a breath I'm going to die, but I'm just laughing so much. So eventually I stopped laughing, and I crawled to the end of the bank, and there's some long grass, and I parted the grass like this bloke. There's bait everywhere. He's covered, all his back's covered in bait. And he's looking at these broken sections of his pole and his rods. And he's just messing. Oh, and he's in a right mess. Well, I thought I'm not going to get involved, so I've walked off and left him to it. Well, at the end of the day, I presented the prizes back at the club, and this bloke's there, and he's talking to got this big lump on him. We talk, you know, when they say half an egg. Well, this bloke had got two of them, one on top of the other. And they was big, and he got black eyes. And he stood talking to his mates, and they're all looking at his face, and he's telling them about something. And this bloke went to the bar, and I went and stood next to him, and to be fair, he didn't look very well. I said, fucking hell, mate. I said, that looks bad. I said, what happened? He said, well, do you know what? He said, I was walking to my peg. He said, and a branch got caught the top of my rod bag, and it swung round and it hit me on the head. That, my friend, is a lie. And when you watch this, you'll know that you've been caught out. Right, well, I hope you enjoyed those few little stories. And I'll catch you next time for A Badsey Boy number 4. Thanks for watching. Bye.